want to bring you the view of a Lebanese citizen living in Beirut right now, because Doha Sabbagh is a Lebanese citizen. I met Doha in June. There was a children's park in Paris. Our little boys were playing there. She left the south of Lebanon. Her family wanted to start a new life here in Paris. Her father had a seizure several days ago, rushed to hospital in Beirut. That's where we can speak to Doha now. Doha, in the midst of explosions right now, we're hearing, just first of all, it's great to have you on the programme. Just give us an idea of what's going on there. Have you heard the explosions? Can you see them where you are? I think we're struggling with the line for Doha. I'll try and go back to Doha when we can speak. But these images we're getting live at the moment from the capital of Lebanon, explosions there. I think we're going back to Doha. If you can hear me, it's great to have you on the programme this evening. Just tell me your situation at the moment and what it's like to be in Beirut right now.
Actually, we just heard the bombings that happened minutes ago, and it was a bit frightening for us because they were so close, and we imagined that maybe Beirut is a bit more secure than the south, but it doesn't seem so. I don't know, like it was a very stressful week for the Lebanese civilians. A complete attack, a vast war, we can say, suddenly erupted on Lebanese citizens. And while we hear media say that it's an attack on a certain group or on Hezbollah, the main targets are civilian houses of these civilians, their businesses, the things that they worked hard for, and apparently the main goal of all of this campaign is to terrorize the Lebanese civilians and to oblige them to leave their homes. There were already 80 to 90,000 people who fled their homes in extreme south, and now we are seeing the total area of the south evacuated. Since yesterday, the Ministry of Health announced that the number of casualties so far is 1,400 people. I wanted to show some of the photos of these casualties. Yeah, it's all the children, women, teachers. In many villages, like these are very famous in their villages because they are people who were contributing to their community. There are aid workers. The Lebanese are usually well-educated people who love to give back to their country. You know, Lebanon passed through a very stressful economic period or crisis in the last years, and these people, despite the complete governmental neglectance, working hard to get things rolling. Many of these people have two jobs or are entrepreneurs, and they are doing the impossible possible. And to lose such a human capital is really disgraceful.
Doha, tell me about your situation, because it is quite unbelievable, really. Just the bad luck that you've had going back to help your father, I'm right in saying, who had a seizure in hospital. He was taken to Beirut from the south. You were born in the south. You grew up in the south, and one of your family was killed in the past few days as well.
Yes, actually, I was born in the south. I lived all of my life in the south. I did my master's in the US, and I got married to a French citizen. And because this French citizen fell in love with Lebanon and with the area, we chose to buy a house in South Lebanon because it's a beautiful nature and beautiful area. And last year, when all of this drama started, I was frankly frightened because I lived so far 3 previous wars as a child, and I'm a bit traumatized. My neighbors were killed in 1995 when we were under occupation. In 1996, I had to live all of the agonies of the war as a small child, and then in 2006. So I didn't want my child to live that drama again. So I insisted that we leave to France. And then 2 weeks ago, I had a call telling me that my father had a seizure. So we came back and we discovered that my father had a cancer, brain tumor, and had to go do an urgent surgery. And while we were in this drama, everything started. My father was exited from the hospital before the time he needed, because there were already many people coming to the
So this
hospitals.
was around the time that the pages were exploding, the walkie-talkies were exploding, the hospitals were becoming full.
Exactly, and we were in a hospital in Beirut suburbs, and because my dad had to come for a medical review from the south, they only could escape the bad destiny of the other people who got killed on the road while escaping their homes, and the people who had to stay 18 hours on the road from south to Beirut. It's usually a 1 hour road. It took people 18 hours. Pregnant women had to deliver their children while on the road because the road was hit in many places and the traffic stopped. And I heard also about one old lady that died in the car because of the stressful situation. Uh, at the same time, my cousin, a young man who was trying hard to escape the economic crisis in Lebanon. He was a graduate, university graduate, and didn't get any job. Finally, he succeeded in opening his own project in the south. He was very happy about it. And in the first day of the attack, he was killed in his shop. His brother was injured, and his uncle also was killed, and the lady that worked in his chocolate shop also. So
So for you,
we
Doha, I mean, this it's awful. I mean, it's really, you're talking about people in ordinary jobs. Your cousin, a chocolatier, his warehouse being hit. Your father was taken to hospital, a seizure. Now, presumably, he's trying to convalesce in the chaos of Lebanon. And you were starting a new life in Paris. You're now looking after your father. What are you going to do? What are your next few days? And are you able to even look ahead towards the next few months? What you're going to do? Are you going to stay in the city or try and leave?
frankly, like as a Lebanese, my choices are very limited. It's hard for me to see my country going through all of this again, and I know that the future of Lebanon is not really promising, because we see that uh, uh, there is no international interference or any real attempt to stop what's happening on Lebanon. We were left out for long periods before. The aggressions against Lebanon actually started in 1968. We were left out then, and in 1978, also, Lebanon was invaded. In 1982, Lebanon was invaded again, and we stayed under occupation for 18 years. During those 18 years, we lived in the south. I was born later, but we lived in the south in confinement. We were isolated from the whole world, and we were being targeted daily. And unfortunately, the war didn't intervene to help us or to rescue us from that destiny. And so far, till this day, we are still framed as in the international media as terrorists. Nobody is humanizing us, and nobody is considering us as equal human beings
Yeah.
that deserve to live a happy life, a normal life.
Well, Doha, we
So
are, and I am, and it is horrendous your situation, and we are thinking about you, and keep in touch with the program as well, because this is a very
I want
frightening
to
evening. Tell me.
I want to thank you for giving me this platform, and for giving all of the citizens of South Lebanon and Bekaa, also the attention. I wanted to confirm to the whole world that we are normal human beings who love their land, who doesn't want to leave their houses, who doesn't want to lose their dignity. And our dignity is targeted every day, and our existence is targeted. Uh, we want to believe in the international community and in the human rights laws, and we don't want to lose hope regarding these
Yeah.
terms.
Yeah.
I plea that the international community come back to its rules, have stop the impunity, and start to take people responsible, or make let people be accountable for their acts.
Well, a
And
big part of that, I guess, Doha, is seeing what happens at the UN today. Doha Sabbagh, thank you so much for talking to us at France 24. We'll keep in touch with you in the days ahead.